football fans, Spurs fans, subscribers, viewers. Good morning. It's the morning after the 1-1 draw with Liverpool. I'm not going to go and bore you with another match analysis. Just a few observational things from the game. Sousa's probably only got 45 minutes in him. We trained with a back three, and when we come on, we had a back four in defensive play, which was nice. The team pretty much picked itself, didn't it? We had substitutions brought on, Ajayi and Rosewell. It was nice to see Ajayi from Lambeth, a Londoner, playing in a London team. I loved that, absolutely loved that. Both of them didn't stand out, but they done their job, which was needed in this time, didn't it? No one thought it was going to be a 1-1 draw. In the morning, I watched a couple of match previews where all the chatters were giving it 10-1, 9-1, 5-1. They was all really negative. I watched another channel, exactly the same, 10-1, 9-1. Leads me to think that a lot of these people that you do see on YouTube in the chat, chatting away on camera, thinking they're Billy Big Bollocks, I ain't got a fucking clue about football, to be honest with you. Not that I've got any more of a clue, but I do realise the reality of it, that I've played football to Hackney Marsh level, and even then, teams fight, footballers fight. I thought we looked loads better. People are going to slaughter me for this, but I thought we looked loads better without Romero and VDV. For some reason, we just looked a lot more better. There was not so much passing backwards, what we're used to. A lot of it was forward play, which was nice. Don't get me wrong, we had a few passes backwards and that. Vicario was the only one I can pick out of that squad who might let us down. And I'm worried about that. I'm worried about his nervousness. I'm worried about his distribution. The shot stopping seems to have... It's still there in flashes, but it's not nearly as good enough as we need. Oh well, that's all we've got left. So get behind him, I suppose. Let's hope he throws them banana feet away and puts on a proper pair of football boots. Romero, VDV, they're not in the squad. When they are in the squad, the drop-off we've had this season is immense. From two players who are critically acclaimed by so many people, the drop-off is absolutely crazy. Dragusin, there's a few mistakes in him. I don't know whether that's the injury. And coming back from an injury. As I said, Sousa only had 45 minutes in him. Substitutions happened. The end of the game was 1-1. I was sitting there for the first time in donkeys. I was sitting there, and my missus turned around and said to me, I've never seen you like that before with a football game. I was actually sitting there near enough praying. I don't know who I was praying to, what I was praying for, but I thought we could have got another goal at the end. I thought we could have got another goal, but we didn't, and it was 1-1 draw. It was a point that we needed. I think every game's going to be like this. Every game's going to be like a cup final. Regardless, everyone's saying Nottingham Forest is the big game. Yeah, it is a big game. I know the reality of it. But I think every game's like a cup final now, isn't it? My missus never seen me like that before. Probably Bilbao was the last time she seen me like that. And I really enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed that game. I enjoyed watching the fight. I enjoyed watching... We are underdogs now. I don't care what anybody says. That Liverpool squad has got some names in it, some players in it. And it was at Anfield. That was a nice game. Then in the evening, I watched my wife put on a few more. I always say my wife put on the Spurs YouTube because she does. I don't go out my way to watch it. I went out my way to watch Spurs YouTube. Um, Out of all the people I watched last night on Spurs YouTube, the only person I seemed to agree with was Iggy on that new Spurs channel. It's nice to see Iggy back. I used to love watching him on the Tottenham programme ages ago. It's nice to see him back talking. It's nice to. I think that was his son as well. You can tell they're father and son, can't you? They both have got this way of talking about football that I think it's a bit of. All us who's got a bit of foreign in us will understand. They've got this way of looking at football that's very. It's nice. It's a nice way. It's not overly horrible. When they're negative, it's not. It's understandable. It's relatable to myself, to be honest with you. I don't relate to many YouTube channels, to be honest with you, when you're talking about football. Many of them have not played football. Many of them have got a echo chamber way of looking at it. They second guess themselves. They're afraid to give you a positive view just in case they're wrong. And it makes them look wrong on camera. They've got this persona where they don't want to be wrong. That's a shame, you know, because when you're wrong, you know. I had to eat humble pie last night to a few friends because there's certain players I didn't like. And I said, I'll eat my words. I'll be responsible for what I said. But that's just a friendly little conversation. When you're on a YouTube, don't take 2 seconds to say, I was totally wrong about that game, was it? Instead, what you'll find this morning, and I'm sorry to keep having a go at these YouTube channels and talking. I know we want to talk about football and I'm a Spurs fan, but as a Spurs fan, we do watch these YouTube channels and I'm just a viewer like you. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, do you know what? That particular one in the morning was like 10-1, 9-1. And they was all giving it some, all acting the la-di-da and all laughing and joking about 10-1s. And I'm thinking, like you are on public TV, making yourself look like nutcases. I don't understand that perception of their football club. Perhaps I'm just totally different to them. Tudor afterwards gave a speech with Sky Sports, didn't he? A little interview, not a speech. And Sky Sports were pressing him. I can't stand the Sky Sports reporters keep pressing him like that. They're waiting for him to trip up, say something wrong. They're pushing and pushing and pushing. What do we expect from scum journalists, to be honest with you? We've seen it in the press conferences. We've seen it before with other managers. Should Tudor go? Would be the next question. I think it's detrimental to go through 3 managers now, Ange, Frank, and this one, and hoping the next one's going to pull us out the shit. Then I see the interview with Porro and Richarlison, and do you know what? My wife made a comment, don't they speak English really bad? It led me to think, perhaps there's a communication problem. Perhaps it's not a mentality problem at Spurs. Perhaps it's a communication problem. Coming from a family where my dad primarily speaks his own language, there was always communications issues. And when there's communication issues in the house, it was okay in the house because we could all rely on each other, and I used to help my dad out with words and that. Perhaps it's a bit different in the Premiership when they're playing 90 minutes of football. You've got the manager shouting, You've got all these players with different languages. Perhaps there should be common ground with what words they use, because I noticed it's hard for Igor to find words. It was hard for Porro to find words, and it was hard for Richarlison to find words. Now, these players have been in the Premiership a couple of years now. I don't expect them to be brilliant at English, but I expect a certain level, schoolboy level. Perhaps they do it on the pitch, and I'm totally wrong. But I think there might be a bit of a communication issue. But other than that, I really enjoyed the game. I'm glad we got the point. That showed me we got fight, and it also showed me another thing about, as I said, the YouTube, where they're too scared. They have to go in hard because of the history that we've had the last season, and they don't want to be wrong. But I like that. I like that game. Anyway, have a good day, good health, take care.